don't know why it's not letting me go live over here. Freak. Oh, it says we're live. You focused? You ready?
You're ready.
All right, let's get into it.
Everything conceivable.
Turn that shit up, bitch. Big face beats.
MJ shit though, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in the studio with the RecBoys though. It's showtime.
The hottest DJ
We're
out
ready to let the
here.
horns go, right? Okay, look. I try to tell them nobody do it like these guys, so I'll explain it with La Sicaria. Two languages so y'all can get hit both ways.
Hit for the heat.
So we don't care if you throw shade. The RecBoys got it locked again. I'm talking the hottest guests, independent artists to the executive gems.
En la calle con el show número uno. Poniendo la presión como el chulo de los miércoles.
That's every Wednesday at 7. We're independent from past to present to future. Don't let me lose you. The show is
You
fire.
catch wreck, go get wreck. El mundo se prepare. Estamos internacional, nadie que se compare.
And they throw you the trivia, so you gotta be sharp. Chris think he know it all, so beat him and you quiet as
En
bar.
las estaciones FM, YouTube and Facebook Live. Yeah, DJ Shot and Mr. Catch wreck. Thank you for watching.
RecBoys
Request AKA Catch the Wreck.
and DJ RecBoy Shaq.
So, RecBoys? Nigga, I love you. You in my heart every day, motherfucker.
RecBoys.
The RecBoys.
I'm tapping with my guys, the RecBoys. You should tap in too.
In the studio, we're catching wreck.
What's shaking, my peoples? You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shop, Mr. Catch Rec. We are the RecBoys. Happy Hump Day, and we are in the studio. We're shaking out there. Everybody that's tuned in, real quick. Could you share the show for a brother? Could you share the show? Could we get more people involved? We got a legendary MC in the building. Should be a dope show. Shout out to E Boogie. E Boogie's in the house. Cornelius, what up? What up? Shout out to everybody that's tuned in.
Salute.
Yeah, Tea Time with Bunky, which I will be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live. Shout out to my people that are on Instagram. Hold on. It doesn't say we live. I don't understand why we didn't go live there. We should be going live now. But what's shaking, man? What's happening?
Bro, you already know, bro. Blessed. Glad to be back another week. Excited. You know what I mean? Like you said, this is three-peat. This is the third time he on the show. You know what I mean? The last time he had a call of friends, like we alluded to when we was talking backstage and shit. But now tonight it's just me and him. But I'm also really excited. What I'm really excited about is two things, honestly.
Okay.
He does every year for the last couple of years. He's been doing the Beats Bars BBQ. You know what I mean? Where he pretty much opens. Well, we're gonna get into the logistics. I just like, first of all, it's dope the whole concept behind it. We're gonna get into all that. You know what I'm saying? And he's dropping an album. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like, and we're gonna ask him here tonight, that I kind of put the pressure on him, right? Because he's been working on the album for some time. You know what I mean? And then I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I gotta get you back on because your event is coming up, and plus the people gotta know about it. You know what I mean? And we let's talk about the project. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I kind of put the pressure. I hope I did, you know what I mean? Because I've been waiting for some material, but I know he's been working hard to get everything ready for this event that he got coming up. You know what I mean? So I'm excited just to hear about it and learn about it, you know what I mean? To see, and for the people to know everything he got going on at this event. At his crib, no less. At his crib. That's
Osiris is in the building. What's shaking,
like,
home?
what's good?
Haven't heard from you in a while. Yo, Chris, real quick before we get into that,
What up?
Pete told me to tell you what up.
Who?
Shout out to Vanessa. Pito.
Oh, tell me what's up, what's good.
Yeah, shout out to Pito. He has the tri-state. Oh, damn, do not let me fuck this up.
You already fucked it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm posting it. My bad, Pito. My bad. Yo, blame it on the smoke, not the heart. But, yeah, he pulled up. We worked on some things. I got him in tune with some people that I know, so hopefully that thing works out. But he did tell me to tell you what's up and to send your love. I haven't spoken to you all week,
Yeah.
so
It's been crazy the last couple of weeks, but you ready?
No, absolutely. We're blessed up. You already know. Family's good. Show's good. Friends of the show is good. Friends of the family is good. What's up, man? You want to jump right in, or what's happening?
Yeah. I'm ready to go, man. Like I said, I've been wanting to go to this event for some time. You know what I mean? But it seems like when the event is coming, I got something going. You know what I mean? But we gonna make it. And I want it. Like I said, I want the people to know what he got going on with this event because I think it could be something really big and good what he's doing. You know what I mean? How he's uniting everybody, bringing everybody together.
Absolutely, I get it. So without even wasting any more time, let's get into it. The homie Kool Kim in the building.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What's
What's
happening?
good?
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling fantastic, man. I'm a little tired. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, but I'm feeling fantastic. Before I
Nice.
even get started with y'all cats, man, let me shout out the peoples online, man. I want to shout out my peoples and show your bag. She's checking us out on Instagram right now. I gotta say what's up to Tea Time with Bunky, E Boogie, Cornelius. You know what I'm saying? Sick Osiris, Vanessa. I see y'all too. Big ups to y'all. Thanks for checking in with a brother. And you know what I'm saying, spend a little time with the kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into a little thing, man. And of
Yo,
course, shout out to the RecBoys. You know what I'm saying? Big love to y'all. You know,
nice.
I'm taking the light on y'all today because you know if I had to squad up on y'all know how it went last time. All right?
Yeah, I mean, Chris
Y'all know
knows.
how it went last time.
Yo, listen, it ain't
It
me.
ain't
I
me
ain't got
today. You
nothing
know what I'm
to do
saying?
with it.
I got my light work on. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing too much stuff to get it to get that shot too heavy. But you know, we gonna just have us a pleasant conversation.
Nice, nice. Yo, real quick, let
Yeah.
everybody know who you are, what you got going on, and why we got you here, homie.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up, y'all? This is your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim. And you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know who I am at all, you see that poster to the left of me? That little guy right there? That's me from 1991. I'm a member of the classic group, the UMCs. Yo, Dave Richards, that's some trivia for you right there. What's the first #1 hit from the UMCs? You heard? So I'm from the rap group, the UMCs.
Nice.
Later on in the years, I became the artist NY Oil. You know what I mean? And you know, real controversial music at that point. And now in my more mature days, I'm representing back to being Kool Kim and enjoying this, you know, the third act of my life. You heard, and just doing super day you got
Ah,
right guys like blue cheese. Stop it! Don't play with me. I hear you, King. All right, you got it. So yeah, man. You know, so that's who I am, man. I'm the cat that's just trying to do amazing things with my life that I got to live, and I'm just trying to create community and catch a vibe and make dope music and engage what I love till I can't engage it no more, fam. That's what it really is.
nice, nice, nice. Chris, I
So
know Chris wanted
yeah,
to
I was
go
gonna say
ahead.
let's not even play no games. Let's get right into to the event. You know what I mean? First of all, for the people, what's the name of the event?
All right, so the event called Beats Bars BBQ. Yeah, it's a 3-day event that's generally held at the end of April. Today, this year marks the third year that I'll be holding it, and I do it at my house every year. You heard. The first year was inspired actually by the space that I'm sitting in right now, which is my studio. And the studio is basically, you know how you drive down the road, you see them sheds, like on the little, little highways or whatever, and they be having the shed, companies. It's one of those, you know what I mean? I converted it into my man caves slash studio space, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I was showing everybody on Instagram at the time. I was going live, letting everybody see my work. And I ain't gonna lie, fam, I was feeling myself. I was so proud of myself, right? That I'm a spirit led dude. So whatever's in my spirit, I'm gonna move on. You heard? So I was like, I just jumped on IG on a live, not on live. I just made a real a post one day, like, I just finished the studio. You know what I'm saying? Ray. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna invite you out the house for a barbecue.
Oh
And
snap!
I really did that, yo.
That's crazy. So that's
I
how it
really
all
did
started,
that.
right there. Just from the excitement of building the studio and wanting to show your work.
Just one, because see, the thing is with me, right? Like my experience in music business has not been the lottery experience that some cats had, where you get on, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. It wasn't like that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't make a lot of bread in music when I was younger. I didn't make no bread at all, to be honest with you, in music when I was younger. When I got my number one charting single for Blue Cheese. When I got that Billboard sort of, the thing that the little plaque that they give you,
Right.
I jumped train with that joint. That's how not making money I was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? I had the number one certification in my hand, hopping the turnstile. You know what I mean? And so that wasn't my experience. So I resigned myself to make my life have meaning aside from that. So I wanted to be the type of dude that people could be inspired by or motivated by, and not to be facetious, man, because that's a major thing to try to tell somebody you're gonna inspire them, right? But to try to live a life where my word is bond, like I be about what I'm saying I'm about, you know what I mean, and I do the things that I say I'm gonna do, and I'm not a perfect person by no strength, but when it comes to being about what I want to be about, and getting to it and doing things that other people may not do, because sometimes we be believing that we're not capable, or like the way society talk to us, we be feeling like we're not supposed to do certain stuff. Like I'm not on that time, fam. I'm on like, I'm about this. Like I want to do things. I want to be, I want to. I don't never want to give up being special and doing things that are important. You know what I mean? And so, that's what it is. So I decided to be inspirational. So even with having people come over to see the studio, it was less about me showing off my work. It was, don't get it wrong. I really did want to show
that's
off,
big.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is, right? But the other side of it was, I had turned the shed into a studio. There's a bathroom in here. There's like, you could just as soon use this as an Airbnb as how well equipped this is. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And I just wanted people to say, like, yo, fam, you could do this. Because not only do I have this shed on my property, my daughter has a tiny home on this property. My son has a loft bedroom on the property. You know what I'm saying? So I have 4 sheds on my property. You know what I mean? And 3 of them are invisible in the public eye, and those 3 all have like a home function. So we have like basically a compound on my property. You know what I mean? And these are things that we can do, and these are important things to know about, because times is funny right now, man. We got ill politics going on. You know what I mean? The way the market is going, the way this trade war is going, and things may be upended. And so having a little know-how, having a little imagination, and a little get to it and stick to it, that's gonna be important, fam. Knowing how to keep the family close, those things is gonna be important, fam. Like, I know I know a lot of times. I wonder sometimes when I do these interviews, right? Do I be like self-sabotaging, like by not like just promoting what I do and be talking more about my ideals? But it's like, yo, fam, when you like got these platforms or these opportunities to talk, you gotta say shit that got meaning, man. Like it's gotta have value beyond just fronting. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I learned though is sometimes when you that real and that transparent, it's hard for people to believe it, because they've been getting jukes their whole life. You know what I mean? So when you that real and you trying to give them you trying to be nice, you trying to do something for them, they looking at it like, oh yo, what he want? Like they always got their guard up on some shit. You know what I mean? And it kind of deters you. You like, the fuck, like I just wanted you to come in the crib and get a plate of food or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You to just chill, son, and see what's what. And and that was why I invited people to my home, because I got a modest home, fam. My home I got a little 2-bedroom home, if it's 1,500 square feet, it's 1,000,000 square feet. You heard? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is it 50? It's not. It might be 1,100 square feet. It is like, it's 1,100 square feet. You know what I mean? But I bought this house for $8,000. You heard? And when I bought this house, it was basically walls and kind of a ceiling, no toilet, no bathroom, like at all. No kitchen at all. You know what I'm saying? It was tore up. And I spent 8 months teaching myself all of the different trades so that I could rebuild this home. You understand what I'm saying? And then turn it someplace that, me and my wife and my kids could come and be here and not be subject to, you messing up on your rent. You at landlord tenant court with your hat in your hand talking about, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, son, that ain't for me. Like I had already had them experiences. I ain't want that no more. I wanted a little bit of land under my feet where I could walk directly outside and step on my grass, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what the life I wanted to have. I wanted to have a, you know, a garden in the back where I could pick my tomatoes and, you know, cut my own lettuce from out the very ground that I tilled, you know, like that, you know, because it made me feel powerful, son. Like, yo, it's a hell of a thing to plant a seed and then actually eat the things that come out the ground that you planted, bro. Like that's a next level experience. Be like that. We got pickles that was from cucumbers that we grew that my wife pickled, like literally, and put it in the brine and all that shit, man. And me and her, neither one of us come from no parts of that. Like I'm from Staten Island, Shaolin, you heard. My wife from Brick City, you know what I'm saying, Jersey City. I mean New Jersey, you know what I mean? You know, hard times, living in the ghetto, all that, you know. So it's nothing sweet. It's nothing built. It's city living. So all of this, what you see me doing is stuff I picked up in my late 40s. You know what I mean? But
I mean, you got it, and you put it to work. You actually documented some of it, right? There was
I
a video.
documented all of it.
Yeah, I was like, I remember you doing the siding. I mean, not the siding. You were doing the Luan in the rooms, and you were cutting it out, and my man was glowing because my son was happy doing it, and I get it because, you know, we got backgrounds in construction, and Chris has a lot bit more background than I got. But when I started learning shit, it was like, yo, I felt what you felt, and then doing stuff for yourself. Like I did everything everything I did in my shop, I did myself. So to learn something and then to actually put it for use for yourself is like it's just super dope when you get the end product. Real quick, I got a video.
Go ahead.
I got a video that you put out explaining the Beats Bars and Barbecue, right? Beats Bars
Barbecue, yeah.
Right. So he said Chris taught me how to do roofing. I know Chris is, listen, believe it or not, he's actually getting paid to teach people to do certain things. So which is super dope, where he learned the skill which was passed on from, you know, his dad, and then the stuff he picked up to be able to actually be in charge of teaching people how to do it for a multi-billion company. It's not like some Ricky Dake, but he doesn't really talk about that. But yo, I got a video that you did, and I want the people to know, just in case they are wondering.
Yeah, please.
What all this is. So let's get into it and let us know what you think. Real quick, like, share, comment, share the show, get the people in tune. In the studio with the RecBoys, DJ RecBoys Shot, Mr. Catch Rec, and the one and only Kool Kim. Check me out on the next side, all right? Let's go.
I promise, I swear to God, I put that on everything, right? He said we put that on my mama. Let's go.
Have you ever been someplace where you just feel refreshed, feel connected, feel inspired?
Yo, what up, yo? It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Kool Kim. Yo, what's up, yo? International Playboy, Mike. You know, let's do it again.
Yo, it feel like a festival, but it's more like a family reunion. Not quite a concert, but it's a bit more than a barbecue. Fam, it's community, it's hip hop, it's culture, but more than anything else, it's fun. Big fun.
Welcome, Beats Bars BBQ 2024. It's such a beautiful thing,
I don't know how to act, be dope, be able to adjust her.
Yeah.
You know, hip hop is in there. Hey.
You already know, yeah.
Nice. So we got into that. So I mean, explain it.
So you know, it's like, so do the knowledge. It's like I'm sending out the joint on Instagram so my people's tap in. So I'm like, yo, you know, it's like again, it was something I started because again, I wanted to have something fun that we could vibe on. You know, sometimes my things we be in this mind that everything got to be the biggest thing ever. 5 million cats got to be on deck. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the biggest stars, the boozy boo boo boo. And then there's situations where it's like, yo, fam, you ever just go out, yo, it's just be a nice vibe, son. Vibes, yo. It's just because vibes over everything, number one. Vibes
That's a
over
fact.
everything. I don't care where you at, I don't care who you went with. If the vibes is not together, you're not gonna have a good time. Beats and Bars Barbecue is vibes. The first year when I did it, it was March 28th. I had a barbecue. It was freezing cold. All right. Yo, Cass was in, if you see the pictures, we was in there. Yeah. Yo, Cass is wearing parkers and you know gloves,
Right.
hats with the fuzzy thing at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like we was in there cold, Jack. And we was outside ciphering to a live band, having a good time. Had the bouncy house open, the babies was playing. Yo, we was ciphering and performing. Yo, it got so good on everybody that the babies started rhyming like, yeah, I can. I'm like, what? Like,
Nice.
it just felt so good. So the first year was the inspiration. The second year, which was a lot of what the footage you were seeing there, that was the vibes because at that point I had, I knew I was gonna be doing it. It wasn't just off the head. It was, I did this. The love that was in my house. That's another thing. I'm inviting people to my house. I would say a solid 89% of the people that come to my house. If 100 people came to my house, 89 of them I didn't know personally. I never seen these people. And when I tell you that people respected my home, you know what I mean? Hey, yo, listen, let me talk for real for a minute, because I generally keep it pretty, positive. But a nigga keep guns and all that shit. Like I stay murdering.
ready.
You heard?
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm not on no tough guy shit on someone. I will protect mine. Like I'm definitely going to survive, and mine is definitely going to survive. Y'all die first, nigga. You heard? Believe that. But
Trust me, I know.
you heard? Like real shit. But when I tell you that was so far away from an issue that it wasn't even something to think about.
That's
Nah,
dope.
that's dope.
That's super dope. So, but every year you add to the event, right? Because this year y'all doing I think it's Frozen.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Maybe you gotta come back in and I'm gonna add him back in. I don't know. Maybe you gotta reset.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's whack.
Yeah, but every year he's been adding to the event, and I think this year they're doing like a b-boy contest, a cook-off, like different type of stuff. Yeah.
That's dope. I was I got into it a little bit this week, checking out his page and see his motion. Kool Kim, if you listen, sign out and sign back in. For some reason I can't. All right, hold on. Sound like he popped in. Okay. See that beat. See, my God.
Yo.
All right, now so Chris was saying that each year you
Yo, the man was trying to shut me down just now, man.
Because you've already let the people know.
Yeah, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was about to get into a thing. It was like, yo, ease up. Don't. That's why I keep it positive, because if I get to talking that shit, you know what I mean? That's why, man. Like, nah, I don't put you here for that type of talk. Don't talk that way.
Yeah, nah, that's why I jumped in too. Like, yo, hold on now. Every year you add to the event, right? So let's go there. Every year.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the reason I say that though is because, I'm not like doing this like inviting people at my home on some willy-nilly type of time. You heard? But at the same token, when I tell y'all that the energy that people bring to my home, the respect that they show to my home is so beautiful and amazing, fam. Like, yo, like they say sound vibrates forever. Like, it's because energy don't just dissipate. It's forever. You know what I mean, right? And so so the sound of people, the conversation, the biochemical energy, it resonates in my home of great people having fun. So the first year was like basic. The second year, we put it in the backyard. I had built, I redid the garden. I built a stage, and I built a stage, and then I also built an outdoor kitchen. so that my wife could get busy. And so that was like out of a movie. And you know, because of the relationships that get created as a result of Beats and Bars BBQ, right? What happens is that we be doing stuff together now. Like, so there's a group SOB that's out of Connecticut that I rock with. That's down. They was the first ones to come to Beats and Bars. It was literally the first ones to get here. And ever since, we've been doing songs together. Myself, Dinko D, I Kill the MC. All of these people have been to Beats and Bars BBQ. That was all there last year, and I Kill and SOB was there the first year as well. All of us now we're building the tour called Rhymes is Life. And so we actually got our first show will be Friday here in Augusta, Georgia, as a part of Beats and Bars BBQ. And I'll get to that in a second. But our second show, which is really meant to be our first, will be in Connecticut for Juneteenth. And we're going to be doing some jokes. You know, we're going to get busy. You know what I mean? And so we're not just having an event and people just jaw-jacking. We're also using this opportunity to have because when you're around people that's like you start doing stuff because y'all be about something. You know what I mean? So everybody about something, fam, and it's amazing. B, you got people that like, all right, so if y'all was to throw something at your lab, right? And you don't, at this point, y'all are still building, y'all still growing, y'all still developing, right? Because you really never stop, but you're still in the growth section, right? And so the people that would come out, they really bout that. Like they really bang with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I rocks with the RecBoys. These are my dogs right there. I fucks with them. That's how they gonna be. So, or they like-minded about whatever you talking about. So if you talking about something fun or you talking about something interesting or revolutionary, whatever you talking about, if it resonate with them, they gonna come out. Now you might get 20 people come out to your joint. And you will feel like, damn, I wish we had 150 because y'all know mad people that you don't need all them people. You needed the 20 people that was about what you talking about because that's your core. And from the core now, I think that right now we have registered for Beats and Bars BBQ this year. We have exceeded the entire amount that has ever come for like both years together. We have more than that. We like almost twice that amount. You heard? And so that's amazing, man.
Yeah,
and
that's super dope.
Yeah, fam. And it's not no big budget production. You heard? It ain't like I'm sponsored by a bunch of people, except for one, which is Insure Your Bag Podcast. My sister Nancy Cabot, she sponsored the event that we doing on Friday night, which is Rhymes is Life. And so thanks to her, we doing that with ease. But other than that, it's it's out the pocket, and it's basically funded by everybody that's paying to come and adding on it. People's like, yo, what you doing this? Yo, what you need something? What you need? Like, well, yo, I'm getting this and this. All right, yo, I'm gonna send you something. You know what I mean? I'll give you a great example of that. B-Boy Juice. This is a cat that I met here. He live in Augusta. He's a B-boy. And, he watches my lives. I go on the lives, you know what I'm saying, when I be talking and inspiring and all that type of thing. And he really, it's meaningful for him, you heard? And so he very supportive of what I do. And so I'm like, yo, I'm in the middle of redoing my roof from Hurricane Helene. You understand?
I seen you posted Sun King to help.
Yo, it tore me up, you heard? But
that's big. That's big. You don't get a lot of people like that, Kool Kim, who are willing to put some time aside to come help you when you working on some shit for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? I was just telling this shit to my cousin the other day. I'm going away for my birthday, right? And I'm going out of state and shit. And I hit him. He said, yo, don't even worry about it. Come get the Airbnb. And I'm like, how much? He said, don't even worry about it. Like, yo, I damn near teared because I don't get shit from a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? So when he did that, I'm like, what? He said, just get a ticket, come out here. The crib is here. The car's there. Like, I'm like,
nice.
Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? You don't get people like, there's not too many people like that. You know what I mean?
Good friendship is a relief, bro.
Right.
Good, real, authentic friends that got you, and they not all right. So let me just say it like this: over the years, right, especially when I was NY Oil, right, because of the nature of being NY Oil, yo, big, I'm 5'7", 5'8" on a good day, right? So I'm stocky, right? So, you know, but I'm not tall. I'm not imposing on that tall shit, like, right? So I'm short, you know, short by tall people standards. But yo, being NYO, because of the energy of what I was doing was so powerful that even big giant lumberjack dudes, right, would be like it was like I was Farrakhan or something, the way they would approach me. And they would be like, cats wouldn't even curse around me. Like that's how heavy this was, right? And yo, I remember like in them times specifically, brothers would approach me and be like, yo, son, I ain't on your dick or nothing. But yo, I'd be like, yo, son, nah, that's not what, we not even in that energy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, fam, yo, fam, you a man, we men. You know what I'm saying? And yo, whatever I'm saying resonate with you, son. I've been dreaming of you, my dude. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I've been waiting for you to swing around because I made these rhymes hoping the motherfucker like you was gonna hit. You heard? And I say all that to say that, you know, people don't be rocking with me because, you know, they on your dick. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people don't be showing you love because they on your dick. They showing you love because what you do resonates with them. Yo, your character is solid. Yo, your word is bond. Yo, you look out for people the same way as they be looking out for you. They know you solid. They know that if something go wrong, you gonna stand up and deliver. Like, that's why people show people real love. Like, if it's other stuff, it's fleeting. You know, like being on somebody's, you know, fanfare and all that type of shit, that's fleeting. Like that comes and goes. And that's why people be shell shocked so much. You know what I'm saying? When they go away and they be like, yo, people was talking like this, and then because you thought that these people that like you for fake reasons was really liking you. But people that love your character or resonate with what you're talking about because you're saying something that, yo, that's in my wheel. I know about that. Yo, I know that I know that energy, son. I know what you're talking about. I've been there. I've been through that struggle, or I seen that success. So I know what it is to be in this situation. Yo, they gonna rock with you because, yo, are you one of my kind? You in my tribe. And that's like, you know, for your cousin to do that for you, that's one of your kind, man. And in a world where generally people ain't good people.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Generally, people foul. You know what I mean? Generally, people inconsiderate. So for somebody to show you love, that's a blessing, my dude. Like, that's big blessings.
No, that like you said, that is a big blessing because a lot of people in this day and age, especially in this climate, a lot of people, and I get it, they're focused on themselves. You get what I'm saying? So, it sucks that, people have to get like that or are like that, but it's super dope when you have somebody around you that, is there. We were just talking about this the other day to fill up the heroes, and it's a lot of times it's the people who give, and not even just give like um monetary, but it might be time, it might be energy, it might be a shoulder to cry on, it might be, an ear to listen to. We don't Who fills those people up? You get what I'm
Right.
saying? 9 times out of 10, that person isn't just doing it for that one person. That person, a lot of people come to that person to do it because they're good at doing what they do. He must have got another call or something.
Yeah. No, that's a fact what you're saying, but it's crazy because somewhere along the line we got out of that whole each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody start doing their own thing. Like when I hear him say he bought some land and he got a couple of houses on the land, what you heard me tell you a couple months ago. Like you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, the same thing Kool Kim said. Like I'm trying to buy a nice piece of property to where I got my little joint, my cousin got his joint here, my brother got his joint here. It's good, like literally, like, and I've been telling my family this, like, yo, there's like 15 acres right here. We all put in on this, yo, but what? And I'm like, yo, even if you don't get to build on it, God forbid, what you just passing down to your kids is way more valuable. Property always gonna go. What he spent $8,000 on is probably like 200 right now. Especially with the upgrades that he put into the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's like, yo, so right now I was talking to my man, I was talking to B-Boy Juice while we was working on the roof, and this was yesterday, right? and because he came through yesterday and he came through this morning. So, you know, we on the last minute, right? So you know, he was mentioning something else, like another matter. He was just like, yo, you know, he was upset that, well, he wasn't upset, but he was like, yo, I wish more cats come out to help. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, son, I got B-Boy Juice with me right now. I said, yo, you know, fam, you know, it's vibes and it's character, fam. Like, character is the order of the day. And why I say that, and how does that fit into like doing stuff like, you know, buying real estate and then, you know, unifying on these things? Yo, you got to do that with people of a certain character, right? Because, yo, you know, you got to know when your man's and them is cool on the what up tip. Like, that's my man's. But he cool on the what up tip. Like, I don't really, like, you know, what up, son? Yo, what up, baby? Be cool on that tip. But I'm not going to talk about my marital problems with this cat. I'm not going to talk about finances. I'm not going to get into no blase blah. You know, like, I'm not going to lend dude no money. We're not going to get into no, you know, business ventures together. But that's, yo, when I see him, it's all love. As a great guy. But he cool on the what up tip.
I tell Shad this all the time. I categorize people just in what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's certain people I could call and know that they're gonna listen. There's certain people when I want to go to the club and have a good time, I'm gonna call. There's certain people if I want to invest some bread, I know who to call. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know those people. Like,
that's exactly it.
You gotta know their places in your life. You know what I mean?
But see, when you do that or you fail to do that, you set each other up for failure. Because you having this expectation that your man that's cool on the what up tip is going to be reliable on some other degree. Like, now you got a lick on some music joint or the podcast is going X, Y, and Z, and you enjoy your man's that's cool on the what up tip, or you enjoy your man's that you like hanging out with at the club. You want to you try and get him to get down with the movement y'all gonna move on the podcast, but he not qualified for that. And so now when he start failing your expectations of what you actually need, and the situation is serious, because you know this is part of y'all dreams and goals that y'all building and pushing together, and now son is coming up short. Now you mad at son because he couldn't do what you needed him to do, and now he gonna be resenting you because you put him in a position to fail. Because yo son, I'm meant to come out to the party with y'all, my guy. I'm not meant to try to figure out how to put together no mailing list, son. I don't know nothing about no mailing list, son. So why you even
because we ain't communicate. That's the big problem with us.
Oh, you know, or before communication, you're not taking the time to assess who you are, what you're doing, and then what places people hold in your life. Like, that's got to be responsibility number one. We got to be mindful of that. Like, even with your lady, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I know that if I remember correctly, both of y'all ladies are intrinsically involved in y'all success, if I'm correct. You know what I'm saying? And so to that extent, it's like, but you could have had a woman that's a great homemaker and love on your kids and can't really contribute to what you do because it's not in her wheelhouse. You heard? But she can do what she can do. And so it would be unfair for you to expect her to do what you need her to do because you can't find the resources to do it yourself, or you can't find somebody that can fit that slot yet. And so now you're trying to make your wife, you know, because they say no man is an island and you can't be all things to all people, and you can't be all things to any person. Right. So, you know, so even with your wife, that would be is down for you all the way. You heard? You know, it's even she can't, you know what I'm saying, do all of those things for you, and you got to be mindful. And so when, you know, so again, you know, back to how that falls into Beats and Bars and how that falls to just the movement and, you know, and character and all of that things, is that's what Beats and Bars BBQ is really about, in the way of generating an opportunity for people of a certain mind, a certain character, a certain vibe to connect, you know. And it's not because we discriminating, it's because, you know, energy attract energy. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so people that have this energy is attracted to this. And so they come out, and like I said, you get enough matches You know what I'm saying? You get enough fireworks and you know something gonna blow. You got I got enough fire. I got mad fireworks and I got mad matches in the same box. Something about to blow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, all I gotta do is jostle this thing around enough and something gonna blow. Cause there's too much catalyst there. You know what I mean? And it's too much potential energy in here. You know what I mean? And so that's what Beats and Bars does. And I'm very proud to be able to say that, yo, man, it was started off as just an idea. Yo, man, the first year we was out here March 28th in the freezing cold, rhyming in my front yard, you know what I'm saying, with a tent out and a band playing in the front yard. We had no DJ. We just had some mics. It was shit, right?
Yeah, then the second year you went and got a whole sound equipment, right? I seen that. I
Got a
seen you when
whole
you was
sound
bringing this
system.
shit to the crib. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, my man, you know what I'm saying? My UPS brother, man, he come through, man. He gonna be at Beats and Bars this year too. You heard? And this year, like I said, we're gonna have a show here in Augusta, celebrating Rhymes' life, which is gonna set off the upcoming tour because we creating the opportunity to put the MCs that you don't really get to see perform now. It's been because they're not the first person on the list, or they're not the ones everybody always talking about. But you be like, yo, I love to see this dude. I want to see what that cat doing. Well, these cats is gonna be outside, man. So Rhymes' Life is a tour that's gonna be building based off of Beats and Bars. Of course, Beats and Bars, we're gonna have a B-boy contest this year. We're gonna have the spades contest. We gonna have a good time this year, man. We having a cook-off. You go to the open stage. It's just gonna be bonkers. And then Sunday morning at 11 a.m., we all meeting up at the pier.
There's an itinerary and all that, right? Like
Yeah. It's a whole because at 11 a.m. we gonna be on this boat. It's Beats and Bars BBQ presents Boats and Flows. You heard? Not boats and hoes, but boats and flows. And we gonna have breakfast on the boat. We gonna eat. We gonna ride on the boat for about an hour and a half and just vibe. And then after that, everybody's gonna adjourn to my house for a little while. And about 2:00, you know what I'm saying, we gonna be just, bidding everybody a fine farewell as we, prepare to just return our home to its normal state. And what that's about is even that part of the event is about developing experience-based events. So as opposed to being like, yo, we having a show at so-and-so club, we like, yo, we gonna take this boat ride and we gonna rock out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They gotta trust you to get on your boat. You know what I mean?
They're not getting on my boat. They getting on the next man's boat.
Boat. You getting on a boat? Your boat. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, so that's part of it.
Look. I don't trust me enough to get on no boat that I built.
No, real quick, I want to switch gears. I want to get into the music, but before we get into the project you got, because you have a real interesting way about how you're presenting this project to the world.
Yes.
I got a music question. All right.
Lay it on me.
Did NY Oil have an issue with Nasir Jones?
So, damn.
Yeah, I gotta get to this is the part.
Let me say this.
All right.
Let me say this. All right. So there's two levels of having an issue. All right. Okay. And I think maybe having an issue is a great. Not even there's more than two levels. Having an issue is a great way of putting it because it was an issue. Nas is an amazing lyricist that has done amazing things over the years. He's an artist that has inspired people to educate themselves. He's because he sprinkles in, right knowledge with street knowledge. You heard, and he's an important voice in hip hop. Full stop. You heard, and we've got to mature enough in life that we can say, yo, this dude is amazing, is dope. And if he do some sideways shit, in your opinion, you could be like, I ain't like that though. I got an issue with that. I don't like that. I don't like how that felt. I'm not into that. You heard? But still be able to say, yo, I still hold him in high regard and high esteem as a great artist, man. And an amazing businessman. Some of the things that he's doing in terms of what is the word? I can't think of. It's slipping my mind the word that you use when You like donate money to different stuff like charities and stuff. Like the charities that he's involved in, some of the foundations that he's spearheading, as well as some of the business moves that I'm aware of him making. You know, like most anybody else, yo, I very much admire everything he's doing. At the time that I was NY Oil and I was doing, you know, what up my wigger and y'all should all get lynched and all these things, you know, it was my perspective that people were trying to catch my wave. You heard? And I think that it was accurate, right? But I took umbrage with, you know, when Nas had the nigga thing, and then he was running around like he had the nigga on his shirt, and then he had like the Asian girl and the white girl with a nigga jacket on at an awards assembly. And I was like, I bet to you, but you got to give me that build now, Nas. Like you can't just do that and ain't no build, right? Because now you sending you're known to be articulate lyrically. So you gotta verbalize this, otherwise it's dubious. I gotta question that. You heard? Because you know what a lot of, you know, over the years, a lot of us have done things that, you know, in our youth, and because we were all young at the time, we weren't holding each other accountable for it. Right. But now we turn around and we look at hip hop and we look at the kids and how they moving and this death culture that they living in, that we started. Or they started, because we didn't start that, but they started, right? Mm-hmm. And don't nobody want it. We just want to point at these kids like absentee fathers and blame them for ruining hip hop and going in this direction. And it's like, yo, son, y'all was the ones that in 91 and 92, when Cash was making creative hip hop and interesting music and thoughtful shit and all like that, y'all was the ones that turned around and called that shit happy rap. And was like, yo, you not real unless you talking about the streets and gangster shit. Like all y'all niggas came from the hood. Y'all are fucking liars. You didn't come from the hood. Y'all niggas was in the front row wearing cross colors and a high top fade, because I seen you. Because I was in that same, you just no front. But you was following, you was catching the wave of whatever was sounding good, because a lot of y'all live your lives vicariously through these artists that resonate with you. And I'm not mad at you, because that's what entertainment does, but don't front for me. And don't front and act like the impact of what you did when you was on the Get Along Gang and the Follow Along Fellowship, that you ain't set the tone for where these kids is at right now. And I say all that to say that if we not mindful of the things we do, even when we was younger and we making certain moves, man, that should have relevance. We can't keep, avoiding accountability for what we done or what we said or how we presented what we presented or what we normalized or what we made okay or what we made sound cool. Yo, right. I'm big. I like Larry June and 2 Chainz now. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think he called himself Antonio something or another. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm into in the Alchemist. I've been vibing on them because I like their movement. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing the knowledge, right? And he got this rhyme. He say, 2 Chainz say, we that generation got them popping off that Percocets or something like that. And my wife, when she was listening, she's like, that ain't nothing to brag about. I was like, yeah, I know, but we was the generation that had these motherfuckers high. Right. You know what I'm saying?
He took accountability for it, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, people got to realize, let's say you're a basketball player, you're a dope basketball player, you got a nice jump shot. Your kid potentially is going to have a nice jump shot. You're going to contribute to that in some type of way or whatever, and take that to the streets or whatever. Like, I remember growing up, how I got into the streets was because I seen it, you know what I mean? And it looked good and the glamorous life of it, you know what I mean? And it was like, all right, I want to do that, you know what I mean? Instead of somebody saying, no, yo, sure to go to school, go over here, do this, do this, you know what I mean? I was thinking about this the other day. How many old people do we know that are still in that life out there living? You know what I mean? And then in that same token, how many of them you know actually got their own? And what I mean by that is their own crib, their own. Like, I just came back from the city a couple weeks ago, right? And I went to go see my, you know, I lost my cousin and shit, right? So I went to go see somebody, one of my peoples who've been running in the streets for a while. You know why I went to go see him? In the projects.
Yo, they will always be exactly where you left them.
And it blew my mind, though, because knowing where I left him 15 years ago and who he was and what he portrayed to be and everything that was, what you call it, you know what I mean? When I went back to go and I'm like, yo, so what's such and such at? And they're like, yo, he over there. And I'm like, he's still over there? Like, hold on. I went over there, he still was there. And it was like, I was like, damn, bro, like what? And guess what's parked outside? Brand new 2025 Mercedes. And I'm like, yo, this shit makes no sense to me. Like we literally, like, when I left, we ain't speak because I didn't understand his logic.
But because again, that's why you gotta know what people good for, you see, and you gotta know what you good for. You gotta know your place. And I tell my kids this stuff all their life. I grew up telling them, yo, know your place, fam. Know your place. And they, I be like, yo, what you think I mean when I say know your place? You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that you better be quiet and don't do this and don't, and stay in your lane. Don't mind how you talk and keep your eyes low. No, know your place, man. A king can't go the same places that a pauper could go. And a pauper can't go the same place. A king can't just jump up and go outside. Or the president can't just jump up and hit the block no more. That's madness. That's an entire operation for him to even go outside, yo. Yo, the president don't even be getting to drive by these days. He's like, yo, I remember one time Biden was in the car. He was driving some sports car or whatever. He's like, yo, I ain't driving years. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats can't even get behind a wheel. If they drive, they had to drive around the rotunda of the White House, like the parking thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only place he could drive. That's the president, son.
Yeah.
You can't even drive, son, because you the president now, son. The president don't drive, son. So what you worried about? That's why people that got a Rolls Royce, a real person that buy a real Rolls Royce, you buy a Rolls Royce because you got a driver. Because you don't drive no more when you have a Rolls Royce. It's not as a coach. There's a carriage. You get in there, you sitting in the back seat. It is optimized for being a passenger. It is not optimized to be in the front seat. You whipping it. You don't whip no damn being a Bentley or no Rolls Royce. You get in the back
I'm telling
seat.
you, if I get one, I gotta drive it. I can't afford to get a driver.
Nah, you get you something. Nah, you gotta get you something else to drive. You get a driver, like you get a car that used for driving. Like, yo, this is some fly shit that I drive. I get behind this. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this, boom. But your Bentley or your Rolls, that's not for us. Yo, me and my lady, we going to the the steak spot that, you know what I'm saying, that, get the wagyus, you know what I mean, we gonna have, y'all gonna do it, so we gonna have the driver out front. He gonna be there in a minute, you know what I'm saying. We dressed to the nines. Ain't nobody driving shit. We coming home drunk. You heard? It's gonna be drunk sex tonight. Ain't nobody driving nothing. You heard? Like, ain't no accidents happening in this $500,000. You know what I'm saying? No, sir. But you have to know your place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, and if you not up, and here's the thing, your man's knew his place, and that's why he's successful in his place. As to say, he's still alive, he's still on that block, and he got him something to make him feel good about himself that he could flaunt in front of everybody else, because he know his place, he knew his potential, and he stayed in his lane. And good on him for that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not good on what he doing, but that notwithstanding, I got, this above all things, to thine own self be true. This is age old wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Man got to know what he capable of. A woman got to know what she capable of. You got to have a sense of what your potential is. Your potential transcends being on the block. So 15 years later, you're doing amazing things in a different way. And so his logic could never align with yours because you had something else to do. However, it aligns with Sha. So y'all two could do amazing things together that y'all are doing. You heard? But this struggle may not be Son's struggle. You might think you crazy for doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, but to the original point, Sha, which was asking, did I have an issue with Nas? I had an issue with things that I felt that he was doing. But, and I think that we supposed to be like that, man. I think that's some sucker shit that we be in this space that we don't you know, somebody that you like say something that you don't like, and you just rock along with it because like that, like you know, like we you know, like, yo, come on, fam, we got to evolve past that as a people. That, yo, I could critique and criticize what you do and still think that you're an amazing person and still respect the shit out of you, but I ain't like what you did.
Let me
You
ask you
gotta
this,
get
though.
there.
Is there a place to do that? What I mean by that, does it have to be in the public eye? Can it be a phone call or when you see them?
I think that some things, you know, like a lot of people always like you can't say shit unless it's like, yo, you supposed to call someone up and tell them that. Nah, son did that in public. This is a public issue.
That's what I'm talking about. If we have it in the public, then nah, I don't think I don't owe you nothing to hit you up, because
I'm gonna call you up, son. You ain't calling nobody up before you did that.
Yeah. That's my thing. Now, if you guys have an issue and they might not know, even if
let's say in the hypothetical, me and Nas was at the studio, and I brought a beat to him, and I had a verse on it. He said he was going to use it, and then, you know what I'm saying, and so I was like, all right, yo, so let's sort all of that out. And however that went, I got stripped from the song, and Cass ain't paying me my bread. I'm not going on Instagram and making a whole bunch of reels about how Nas shorted me at the studio. That's something that has to happen. Yo, my lawyer's got to call. I'm calling up his people. We're going to sort that out, because this is a business matter that is not something that I should be articulating to the public. That's, you know what I'm saying? If we've got private dealings, then those private dealings should remain private. If we've got pacts and relationships that have nothing to do with our public, you know, it may have something to do with us being public people. That may be the premise of why we engage in, but whatever happened in a private capacity, or was a personal issue. You call your mans up before you don't even speak that publicly. You heard? However, if Dave Chappelle, right, had a whole series of, he had one of the greatest comedy sketch shows of all time, if not the greatest, right? And in his youth, and not realizing the impact of some of his comedy, right? He's not realizing that when he's doing all these nigga jokes, right? That just like how it used to be with Saturday Night Live and Eddie Murphy playing buckwheat and all of that, when Monday morning, everybody was coming to work trying to redo those jokes. So now here you are you at the office, you know what I'm saying, y'all on the job, right? And Bradley or you know, Paisan or whoever is trying to do Dave Chappelle jokes, dropping a hard nigga on you and all that other stuff, and you sitting there like, yo, son, like, yo, I'm mad uncomfortable right now. I'm living every day like, yo, you $1 million man, my dude. You insulated from what you doing. I'm everyday niggas out here, yo. I'm experiencing this in real time. Like, I'm dealing with the blowback of what you're doing. So now if I jump on TV in some sort of interview and be like, yo, I'm not jacking Dave Chappelle, which I'm just using this as a hypothetical, but I have said something about this before. You heard? Right? So I'm saying, yo, I'm not jacking that Dave Chappelle, whatever. Dave Chappelle can't be mad, man. I ain't call him up to tell him about what you meant it for, son. You was rocking indiscriminately for 3 years, son. Right. And everybody had to eat that. Even though it was the greatest. I love Dave Chappelle's show. And I think Dave Chappelle is the I love Dave Chappelle. He is one of the greatest comedians. The only person I think fuck with Dave Chappelle is Richard Pryor in my book of dope comedians. You heard? And but still, I didn't like that. I thought that was some, you know, and you know what? Even he saw it. That's why that was one of the reasons why he never went to Africa. Because he didn't like how he didn't like the impact of his jokes, because he was hearing how the laughter was once he was in the right room. And he was like, oh shit, these niggas is not laughing like they supposed to be laughing.
Yeah, they're not laughing with you. Yeah, they're laughing at you. It's crazy. Right. Me and Shy be having this conversation all the time where it's like, when you let people do shit, other people think they could do it. You know what I mean? And that's where it starts going on and on and on. That's why I be telling Sean, your son, like, how we joke around is we can't do it in front of everybody because some dude I don't know or you don't know might be there and might say some shit. Now you looking at me like, yo, I'm gonna have to smack your man. And I'm like, yo, but chill. Like, you know what I mean? And he only think he could do it because he hear us doing it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not like that. It's
You
not like
setting
that
this, you setting the tone. Like we gotta set the tone. Was for us is for us. Was for everybody's for everybody. I'm not gonna get on the Rec Boys and do the jokes that we do when we on the phone and we, like we can have a joke about like, my dick. Like that'd be the joke. You know what I'm saying? And that's the joke. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yo, my dick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some funny shit that we came up with because the situation happened that like we seen some cats arguing and somebody got knocked upside the head. Then the dude ran off to my fuck you, nigga. So that's some shit that we was saying because it was hilarious to us. It wasn't between us like I was literally saying fuck you to you, right? Or you ain't saying it to me. It's what we saw and it became an inside joke. But now we on the Rec Boys and I'm talking about fuck you, nigga, and they not realizing that it's got this whole storyline to it. They just heard me say what I said. And now they think that they could joke like that too because people that's watching, and no disrespect to this is with anybody because I'll do it. Anybody does it. You be watching somebody else joke. You want to get down with the joke. It sound funny. I want to let me in on the joke, but it's inside joke. So keep it inside so that we don't have no problem outside.
You know what's crazy is we had MC Shan on, right? But we got a relationship with MC Shan. So we was on the show and Shad asked him a question. Oh, Shad was like, yo, get on our network. And he was like, yo, fuck your network. Live on the show, right? But mind you, we got a relationship. This MC Shan, right? So after the show, everybody called him and said, yo, MC Shan said, fuck y'all, da, 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 da. Meanwhile, he calls me the next morning. He said, yo, nephew, I was fucking with you. I'm like, yeah, I know you. Like, that's how I build, right? But the people, I'm like, yo, but the people who tuned in really think you said fuck the Rec Boys. You know what I mean? But that's how they took it. But we know on the other side. But real quick, Kool Kim,
hold on. So how does it work then? Because you gotta be confused. Is it okay for MC Shan?
No, it's not, huh? No, it's not okay. And I had to tell him, I'm like, yo, by you saying it, somebody else gonna say it. He like, yo, nephew, I get it. But I had a couple of wizards. I'm like, I get you, but you gotta know, like, especially somebody like Kool Kim, somebody of that, like, people look up to whether we're celebrities or not, or we have success in what we're doing or not. Somebody somewhere looks up to you. And what you do, they're gonna mimic. You know what I mean? And I had to tell him that. And I get you, nephew. I'm like, yeah, all right. But then I see him the next day talking shit about somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, he didn't get me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, see, so then there's that guy, right? Shannon's one of them that guys. You know what I mean? Like, we all knew, we know plenty of them growing up, unless it's you, right? But that guy that, yo, this is wild for the night. Like he did this motherfucker, he don't care. Like he say what come to his mind and that. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Cat used to be in the classrooms that was downstairs. We had to go down. We had to go downstairs to the basement. That's where UMC, we had to go bring the chalk down to the basement. And you be like, oh, them classrooms that we by the gym, you be like, oh, I'm at the classroom by the gym, yo. I already know what's going on over here, right? But they be wild for the night. Shannon's a wild for the night dude. You know what I'm saying? I think he's this is a dude that's got is a great dude doing great. Yo, a cool dude, man, cool brother. I kicked it with him once or twice, and so so he probably wouldn't even know me from a can of eggs, but I've had the opportunity to talk to him and joke with him, and so I think he's a great guy. I know what kind of guy he is, so I already know what I'm in for if I'm engaging him, right? But and I know how to limit the engagement so that I don't find myself in an awkward place. But I know this about a lot of people, right? And it's just always like it's tricky because you can people could take things wrong, and we living in a culture that's like right now everybody looking for some drama to like build off of or turn viral or like clout chase off of. And and also sometimes you got people that hate you, and so they want it to mean fuck y'all.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, and so it's important that when we communicate, and again, these are things that Yo, fam, you know, sometimes, man, like sometimes we can't keep letting certain stuff rock. And I mean, it don't require like beefing, but you know, it's all right to be like, yo, son, nah, you know, nah, son, that, you know, please don't do that no more, cat, because you know that you making unnecessary problems for me, fam. You know what I mean? I don't wanna feel no questions about. Yo, did Shy mean to disrespect me on the Rec Boys the other night when y'all was on and he was just said whatever he said? And it's like, nah, that's my man. I got big love for them brothers, man. They ain't down, they ain't they, you know, they was you was just joking around. I don't think he meant it like that. But now I got to feel that and it's never ending. And then what happens is that, and y'all tell you something, let me tell you something real fast, because I know we gotta wrap it up in a minute. I gotta get back to work on the house because I am not done with my work for this thing. But what I want to say is, y'all just got finished turning a vanity into an island, yo. Yo, this shit like a brand new piece of furniture. But I'll get into that another time. We talk, you know. So I know y'all can appreciate that kind of thing. But anyway, yo, I had quote unquote Kenny Parker the other day did this video about me having beef with BDP, right? And you know, I responded to it, and I responded in a way to diffuse it. You know what I mean? To the degree of like, you know, like I'm with the shits. Like, you know, I rhyme. Like, Cash, you know how I give it up. So I'm not worrying about nobody. Like, you know, people that don't, like, if you were in the comment section and you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't really know. So, you know, don't assume that I'm just talking out my ass. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know I'm not fearing no MC because I give it up. You heard? And so I'm not worrying about anybody. If somebody wanted to get at me or battle me, I'm with the shits, you heard? Because I like rhyming and I like all that shit, you heard? So I'm into it and I'm aggressive that way. So I'm like, yo, what's up? But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm not in a space to want to, you know, I'm a grown ass man and I have to present myself in a way that's honorable and consistent with the message that I have, you heard? So I try to deal with it in a way that wasn't crazy. But the issue had stemmed from Chris had said on stage after we had performed, right? And so we were all doing the show together. Us, Das Effects. It was Das Effects, Fushnikins, us, BDP. And we came on right up after BDP. We did our big one. We got off the stage. Chris came on. And somewhere in his build, he was like, yo, the UMC's out there is whack. Now, he wasn't talking about us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
how he said
the way he said it, he said like UMC's is whack. He didn't say it where it's like, yo, UMC's out there fronting on the rise, and that, y'all know what time. He said it like UMC's is whack, and that. And the whole crowd was like, ooh. And he knew, and Chris, I know Chris enough to know. He knew what he did. You heard? And I was like, yo, Chris, you know, and so I approached this nigga like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm 5'7", 5'8" on the good one, and how gravity treating me. Chris is a house. This nigga's like 6 change.
Yeah,
that's a big, that's a big man, and everybody with them is big men. These niggas is not soft. Like all that stop the violence shit is what it is. The niggas is nothing, ain't nothing sweet over there. You heard? But that's my name, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's my name, bro. What you mean? What you think? Just because you singing Blue Cheese or Wonder Growing, that I don't know what my name is? That I'm gonna let that rock? You heard? Yeah, and then so that, and what people don't think is that you think how you would deal with it, and I should just let it rock because it ain't mean nothing to you. But see, here's the thing, and it really ain't mean nothing to me until I got to deal with the sickle fans, because you got, and the sickle fan is someone that's is the epitome of dick riders. These are the type of people that do anything to get curry favor from the people that whose dick they on. So now I'm going places, and KRS-One got a special type of a dick rider fan. You heard? And so these dudes really be trying to do stuff to make him proud of them. Yo, don't front on the teacher. Yo, the teacher said that, yo, you gotta, yo, man, get the fuck out of, yo, you know, I don't want to get there, but, you know, I'm like, yo, man, like, what the fuck are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And so, you know, now I gotta feel this for years. You heard? Because Chris never said anything. So for years, you having a good day. You ever have a good day and somebody say some off the wall shit to you? You like, yo, what? Like, yo, and then your whole day sour, your whole week is sour because you that this person occupied. Yo, I still remember the face of one of these cats. Yo, I was about to murder this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because the way and this and he be these niggas be corny, right? So I'm like, yo, nigga. So anyway, so I'm saying this shit, like you don't be realizing how deep this can go, or what you leave in the baggage you leave with somebody else.
The perception you leave in.
Yeah, so now we have beef with BDP. Now 20 years later, 30 years later, I'm chilling, having a good time, doing what I do as I always do, and here comes Kenny telling this old cock and bull story like I got it in for BDP because they dissed us and said it violated our name and didn't take the time to correct it when the opportunity presented itself. And he said he was going to go on a radio station and make it right. He said that, not us. You know what I'm saying? And so years and years later, about at the time, it might have been 20 years later. Now it's 30 years later as I speak. But about 20 years later, right? This is how crazy this is, right? Now I don't forget shit. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people, I'm a villain that way. So I'm definitely gonna, B, there's people that only thing's gonna stop me from getting to them is if they get to a grave before I can get to them. And I lay on you. B, I stay healthy. I'm like, son, you ain't met no diabolical shit like me, cat. I'm gonna outlive you just so I could. I'm gonna definitely see you, son. So ain't no more posse, ain't no more crew, ain't no more mob. It's just you now. You just living regular life. I'm coming to see you now. I've been waiting all this time. Oh man, you still talking about? I'm still talking about that. Yeah, I'm still talking about that.
He didn't even correct the situation, and then.
But here's the fly shit. I ran into him as NY Oil. Now I'm NY. I'm not 120, 150 pound Kool Kim. You know what I'm saying? I'm 210, benching 315, club coming up on 4. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Nigga look like he's home from jail. NY Oil. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm a different human being. I done been through things. Now I'm on a different type of time. But I approached him on some true love, like, yo, Chris, yo, B, you don't have no idea how important you are. I took my glasses off so he would know who I really was, because at NY Oil I was concealing my identity. I was like, yo, man, I'm not just NY Oil, I'm Kool Kim from the UMCs, man. Hey, yo, man, this is, you're too important. That's what I said to him. I said, yo, Chris, man, you're too important, my bro, to talk a certain way, man. What you say is law, and you know it, man. And you gotta, your voice is too important to be irresponsible with it, man. And you know what he said to me, bro? And I have so much respect for KRS-One. That's why I was so mad at Kenny for that story, because he made it seem like I got moss with him. And I have the utmost respect for KRS-One, man. These niggas is nothing to be playing with. So I'm not telling the story like I was ready to whoop this nigga's ass, because it wasn't gonna happen. Right. You heard? I'd have gave him a good one, but these are some big niggas, man. You can't beat just because your technique don't beat everything, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now when there's like 5 of them, 6 of them, it ain't happening.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I boxed and I did a little this and that and the third, little the Krav Maga and all that type of shit. And I'm here to tell you that there's weight classes for a reason. You heard? Like, there's weight classes for a reason, man. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna throw no elephant in the chokehold and win. Like, it don't work like that. You're not beating, it's not Bruce Lee. You're not beating 4 niggas at a time. It's not happening, yo. That's not really how that goes in real life. You heard? So, I approached him. It was love language. And I told him, I was like, yo, you was wrong for that, man. And you know what he said? He turned, looked at me, he was like, hey, yo, Oil. I'm sorry, Oil. My bad, yo. That's what he said to me, my man. And, yo, and it was like as if a magic, like, it was like a weight of
lifted off your shoulders. Yeah?
It was like, yo, man, it was like, yo, it was such a redemption for the brother just to apologize, because that's all I really wanted. Right. You heard? I ain't want no moss with BDP. I grew up loving these niggas, man. It's my favorite, one of my favorite groups of all time. I can recite Criminal Minded word for word. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So this is not, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's my name, bro. And my name gonna always be my name. You hear me? So I'm not fucking around. You heard? And I'm not gonna let nobody just violate me and I don't say nothing. And I don't care how long that's gonna take. But when he said that, that was a beautiful thing. And I had so much respect for that brother for that. And you know what he said to me too? Something wild, powerful. He said, yo, Oil, this is what happens when everybody around you is on your dick. because everybody's scared to tell you what it really is or hold you accountable. And he's like, yo, that's why I need you around. This is what he said, that's why I need you around. I said, oh, I'll always be around, bro. You can bet that shit. And that's how that was. And subsequent to that, you could see video of me and him and Hakeem Green on stage rocking together. So and me bringing my youth group to events to sit and interview KRS-One. He's a beautiful man, yo. He got love for the youth, and he's what he is, man. So I thought that shit was whack, but that's the like you don't be realizing the impact of your voice. So when we talk and say, like, even what I'm saying now, if I don't say it right, it could create new beef.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Not only that, like he's the teacher. So at that point in time, in his mindset, it was probably just hip hop and what he was supposed.
It's all hip hop with Chris. It's all hip hop with
That's
Chris.
what I'm saying. So he knew exactly how it was, and he's the wordsmith that he is ridiculous. So when he did that, he knew exactly what he was doing. He just didn't know that who he was doing it to.
Well, he probably didn't know how powerful his words were, right? Because you got to remember this happened quite some time too. So he probably was still on his come up, his making a name, his
No, he was all the way up at this. He all the way up. But here's the thing. And listen, you have a name like UMCs. How mad you gonna be if somebody says UMC? Every rhyme somebody talking about UMCs is whack. Yo, UMCs be fronting and dancing. You can't like so. There's a plausible deniability there. Right, so that's why it's like it wasn't one of them type of things where I could honestly think that he was really trying to throw darts at us. Because if he was really trying to throw darts at us, he'd have really threw darts at us. You seen what he did to PM Dawn? He might have held us in that same thing. It wouldn't have been that way because Staten Island was heavy in the building. It wouldn't have went like that. But he might have had that kind of regard for us if he was really trying to violate us. You understand what I'm saying? And I honestly think that I honestly think that wasn't his intent. Even in that time, I think that he's quick-witted, and so when he's seen that it was taken that way, he didn't like clear it up because it was like, yo, the crowd, it is what it is. Like, and I can't fault him for that because, when you on stage, man, like you gotta like I had this rhyme, right? That I had, it was like a riggedy rick, all that shit get me fucking sick. So all that riggedy diggity shit could suck my diggity dick, right? And people took it like I was dissing Das Effects, but I was really dissing all the people that was trying to sound like these cats after they had did it. You know what I'm saying? But that people thought that in the moment and was like, oh, I wasn't mad at that because it was like, yo, I'm sorry.
The shock value.
Right. So
got a reaction.
Yeah, so. You know what I'm saying? And but those things have consequences, you heard, and those things you gotta be held accountable for what you say. You know what I mean? So even in years later, I had approached them about that, like, yo, fam, that wasn't, I honestly wasn't. Y'all one of my favorite groups, straight up and down. Like that was not for y'all. That was for all these other niggas that was like jumping on y'all wave. Is like I got a pet peeve against that type of shit. But I should have chosen my words better. And when I apologize understanding what I had done wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And these are things that we're supposed to be able to do as men and women, like, especially when you're an adult, fam. You got to know that when you're wrong, it's all right to be wrong. Just don't be fucking wrong and strong. Like, that shit is what's crazy with niggas out here, is that y'all be wrong and strong. Like, you gonna stand on how wrong you are because you can't let go of the fact that what you did, if you acknowledge how wrong you are, you made an ass out of yourself, or you was being an asshole. So now you can't live in that form and be like, y'all, I was being an asshole. My bad, man. My bad.
Or you ain't know no better. You don't know what right is.
I ain't know no better. And so, and then when you be wrong and you be like, yo, my bad, fam. I was wrong about that. You know what? I remember one time I had a customer when I had a bar called Flow here in Augusta. Yo, I fucked up, right? Like, whatever the circumstance was, I knew I fucked up. It was on me. You know what I mean? And they sent me an email, a nasty email. And I replied back to them. I was like, you know what? Let me first say, I'm so sorry that I let you down. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? This was an important day for you and your wife. And yo, man, and I know how disappointing that must have been to not, to want to share something special with them and to get substandard service. I said, I'm reviewing what you said, and I want to take note of some of the things that I noticed. This thing you said, yes, this is thing happened, and this is what went on, and this thing that you said, I remember when that happened, and that was definitely a fault of ours. This thing I know that you upset about, but this is why this was happening, and that. And I said, with that understanding, these are the things that I've done to reconcile these problems. This is the things that I've done to fix this so that this never happens again. And I would really love if you came out and was my guest on This Is So Day, and let me show you how I give it up when my focus is right and I don't make these kind of errors. And that woman came back to my joint and was like, yo, I really appreciated your response. That's why I came back, and I'm so grateful. And I did my big one. You know what I'm saying? I like, yo, this is how I really give it up. And she's like, yo, and it was, she had so much love for me. She was putting me on this shit after that. Because, sometimes when you're wrong, man, the strength is in acknowledging it, fixing the fucking problem, and then doing right by people. And letting people look at you and be like, yo, that's a man, that's a woman right there. I respect that person. They reliable. I got respect for them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just sitting in their wrongness because they couldn't own it. They owned it and they got greater. And I love that. I love that for them. That person could become anything with that kind of energy. And that's what I'm trying to do. And quite honestly, that happened with the first Beats and Bars BBQ. Somebody had complained. He was like, yo, son, I thought this was going to happen. I thought that was going to happen. And I got on the phone with son. I was like, yo, son, this is what happened. This is this. I understand. You know that. Yo, I'm going to work really hard towards fixing these things. The first thing was kind of on a whim. I wasn't, I was kind of just doing it on the vibes. But I didn't realize that it would be such a serious thing by the time it actually happened. I kind of thought it was just going to be a get together, but it became a real thing. And I wasn't prepared for that. So, going forward, I'm making this thing. I did this, I did that. And by the next year, I had my shit together. And now we in the third year, and it's going to be crazy. Beats and Bars BBQ, rhymes is life. You understand? Boats and flows. This April 25th through the April 27th in Augusta, Georgia, one horse town. We're going to shake it all the way out. We got Dinko D. We got a killer MC, Shabam Sadiq. You know what I'm saying? Myself, Stars of Beyond. You know what I'm saying? Yo Afro. And a bevy of other dope artists performing at Rhymes is Life on Friday. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be an amazing weekend. And we're going to celebrate our kill from Jurassic 5 birthday on the 25th. Along with my old moms, we're going to celebrate my birthday, which is on the 29th. You know what I'm saying? We're going
happy early birthday, King.
Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? We're going to celebrate the RecBoys. We're going to throw one up in the air for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Some of us going to be celebrating 420 posthumously. We're going to be celebrating all kind of stuff. You heard? And I just want to say, as we prepare to wrap it up, man, you know what I'm saying? I do want to say, man, how proud I am of y'all brothers. For y'all growth over this last couple of years and y'all consistency. And I want to say how much and I'm not being facetious, and I'm not saying stuff to say it because it sounds fly, but I mean it seriously. Rec in particular, because I always run into you on IG and you always pop up on the lives and show me love. How much I appreciate that, because a lot of people, especially in the podcast game, I noticed that, sometimes the podcast hustle is, you start off with a bunch of D-list artists that, might have 10 or 20 fans that might come and check out the podcast because Scrams is on there, but you're really aiming for them A-listers. So you'll have them, but after you use them up for what they worth, you will never hear from none of them mugs again. You'll be on to the next ones. Now you got the C-listers and the B-listers, and D-list artists don't never get to hear from cats again. And then you go to the A-listers, and none of them motherfuckers is going to hear from you unless they do something phantasmagorical. But y'all be on y'all star time, but not the RecBoys. And yo, Chris, I appreciate that. Yo, you swing through. You be showing love. You tapped in. Sha, I appreciate that. Even in the questions that you asked me, it is indicative that you took the time to do the knowledge, that you be watching the shit I'm doing and that you hip. And that means a lot to me because I don't like whack interviews and I don't like talking to people that don't even know who they talking to. And I think that shit is dope that y'all take y'all craft as serious. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grace y'all with every success that's possible. And I hope to continue to see y'all grow, and I hope to be along for the ride for as long as I'm riding. You heard?
Yo, we definitely appreciate that, but I can't take that all dolo. Yo, a brother came in to the shop and said, "So, yo, you got Kool Kim?" And I'm like, yeah, I got Kool Kim on the show. What's up? He been on this is his third time, ain't no big deal. Like, yeah, we got him. Yeah. He gonna come through. We gonna parlay. The big thing with him is the trivia. So we gonna really get into it. And then, the concept album that he's dropping, he's doing a song every other week.
We didn't even talk about the album. We didn't talk about none of that shit.
That's why I had to throw it in there real quick. But listen, and then he was like, yo, does he have an issue with Nas? And I was
that's
like,
that's how you had that thing? Yeah,
no,
I don't got no issue with Nas, man.
No, but it was dope that they were in tune with me to be in tune with you to
That's
have
beautiful, yo.
Yeah, to have me ask you, like, this guy, the person who asked me this, I see every day. So to have his question asked, he's a fan. This guy is like, he's your fan. He's not my fan. He's your fan.
You know what's the biggest takeaway I get from tonight is that we gotta realize how powerful we are. Right? And Kool Kim, same thing with you. Like, you gotta realize how powerful you are. Just how he was talking about the stories he was looting on, right? And everybody who's tapped in here tonight, each one of y'all got something in y'all.
Right.
Word.
You just gotta figure what it is. You know what I mean? And when you figure that out,
actual.
It's no longer gonna be work. Whatever it is, like whatever. Once you put your mind to it and you figure out what that gift is, it's no longer gonna feel like it's work to you. You know what I mean? Forget about what everybody been telling you. It's not possible. It can't happen. It could only not happen if you don't let it happen, if you don't put in the work to go get it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest takeaway you could get here tonight. Like, this man is opening his house once a year to people who he's never met in his life. They're coming over, good vibes, good energy. Like, that takes a lot. Like, I don't know motherfuckers I know over for 20 years. They don't even know where I live. Yo, meet me at the park.
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that takes a lot. And for him to believe in y'all, to even open his door up, says a lot about him.
Because I love that I'm in service to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This culture has brought me places that I didn't imagine being. I've had the opportunity to meet people that I never thought I would meet. I've made friendships that I never thought I would have. And that's dope. And so I love being in service to hip hop and to true hip hoppers, people that's, my tribe and my kind. And that's what we're going to keep doing. And yeah, man, it's all about personal power, be recognizing who you are. And there's been a lot going on that speaks to that issue in my personal life that I've been like, yo, that resonates with me, because there's been a lot of little subtle hints, man, like stuff I see on TV or scroll, of course, and it seems like it's talking right to me, like, yo, son, like basically telling me, like, I be humble about certain stuff because, I don't like the idea of flaunting shit in front of people. I think that shit ain't cool. Because, we all struggling. Like, I struggled a lot in my life, man. So I ain't trying to flaunt shit in front of nobody, man. I'm just trying to do my best and inspire people within the scope of normalcy, man. You know what I mean? But same token, man, sometimes when you call the leadership, you got to understand that that's what it is. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Your normalcy is not everybody's normalcy. But, yo, Kool Kim, man, thank you for your time. I think he froze up. Thank you for chopping it up with us. You know what I mean? Shot dope show. I know we didn't get to do the trivia. We didn't get to do the videos. But shit, we didn't even get to talk about the album. You know what I mean? So we might have to bring him on here again.
That's kind of whack that we didn't even get to talk about the album, because he had a dope concept, and I really wanted to get into it. Once again, another one in the books. Shout out to them RecBoys. Definitely had a good time. Kool Kim, shout out to Kool Kim. Listen, we got to get him back on here. He owes you some trivia. We got to figure out how we can get him to do the rec or rec. I had some dope questions too. But I guess that is our time for this week. We love you guys. Shout out to everybody that tuned in Instagram. Shout out to everybody that tuned in Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Check for me tomorrow night, 7 p.m. live with Tea Time with Bunky. You already know. That's my little big sis. We're gonna have a good time. I'm a raid the show. Talk my RecBoy ish.
Super dope.
Shout out to What We Talking About podcast, the homie Gabe, the homie Blackout. If you missed any of that, make sure you guys tap into them. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live. Also Voice of the Valley, which he does on Instagram. That's the homie Gabe. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got Catherine, we got Teresa, Cornelia.
Salute, Cuzzo.
Fox TV, my aunt Sharon. What up?
What up, Sharon?
Dave is in the building. Oh, my lovely sister's in the building. I'm trying to see my sister this weekend. My great nephew has a flag football game in Middletown, and he's actually from Albany, so they're playing down here. So I'm gonna try to catch that. Shout out to my son. My son left today for the pin relays. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's the national relay races that they do across the nation. They call them Penn relays because they do it at Penn State. So yeah, actually, my son is
That's that floss right there, Penn State. That's like dropping the name. Yeah, I was just with Cali yesterday, and nobody was to pick up on that. Now salute to Isaiah, man. But yeah, listen, everybody, I need y'all to understand, man. Y'all more powerful than y'all think. Put y'all mind to it. Anything y'all want, y'all go out here and catch wreck. Y'all can reach everything motherfucking conceivable. You gotta want it. You gotta go get it. Forget about what they not telling you. Forget about what they are telling you. Put your mind to it, put your heart behind it, get some focus up on it, and get out here and fucking get it, man. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. We on this mission to catch wreck. You know what time it is.
We out. Deuces, them RecBoys out. Easy. Love y'all.